very beautiful evening to you, and welcome to Atlantic Television Network. The name of the program is Press Roundtable. It's a very beautiful evening. Of course, Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. Today on Press Roundtable, we've been looking and discussing, first of all, aviation. Dana Air confirms Lagos Airport runaway incident, says aircraft grounded. And from Oyo State, a trigger-happy policeman kills co-member, injures low-tech graduate. And coming from politics, as Imo Governor Ihe Dioha resigns from PDP. And also, we're still on the alleged fraud. I want to appear in court, but I am afraid of arrest. Bello. So when we come back from this short break, I'm going to introduce my guest as usual. Stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human
on the point of order.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
right, we're glad to have you back on Atlantic Television Network on Press Roundtable. This evening, I have Suzanne Abe. Suzanne, good to have you on the show. Suzanne is a broadcast journalist as as a media practitioner. Suzanne, good to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
Then I also want to say, and commend my colleague here who has always been a regular, face and voice on the show, Mr. Kingsley Jude Papamie. Sir, you're welcome. Good to have you this evening.
Yes, thank you.
All right, my name is Angel Nkoma, Angelic Angel. First of all, now we want to take the stories that is coming from aviation. The management of Dana A has confirmed a report that one of his aircraft with registration number 5NBKI skidded off the runway at the Molitala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Tuesday morning. The airline met the confirmation in a statement on Tuesday. Expressing regret, the airline noted that the aircraft which flew from Abuja to Lagos skidded off the runway in an attempt to land. However, it expressed relief that no casualty was recorded, stating that it had informed the Accident Investigation Bureau and the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority of the incident. The statement reads, Dana Air regrets to inform the public of a runaway incursion involving one of our aircraft, registration number 5NBKI, which was flying from Abuja to Lagos today, 23 April 2024. We are relieved to confirm that all 83 passengers and crew on board the flight disembarked safely without injuries or scare, as the crew handled the situation with utmost professionalism. We have also updated the AIB and NCCA on the incident, and the aircraft involved has been grounded by our maintenance team for further investigation. The management thanked the airport authorities and its crew for ensuring the safety of all passengers on board the aircraft. The statement added, we wish to thank the airport authorities and our crew for their very swift response in ensuring the safe disembarkation of all passengers following the incident, and our sincere apologies and appreciation to the passengers on the affected flight for their patience and understanding. We wish to reassure our passengers that their safety will always be our top priority, and we are cooperating fully with the relevant authorities to investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident. Now, recall that in January 2018, a commercial aircraft belonging to Dana A used its left wing to hit a fence at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Media reported that a Dana flight with registration number 5ND from Port Harcourt brushed the fence while trying to park after it landed at the NNIA, and they talked about the website. And so the passengers on board and the flight told our correspondent that no injury was recorded, but blamed the aircraft's pilot for the incident. Right, talking about the aviation, as a matter of fact, what really drew my attention was what really I have a man of God, a very strong man of God, a voice, in Port Harcourt. When he came in, he was sharing, and he flew down to Zambia last week. He flew the Dana A, and as a matter of fact, when he was in the plane, in the aircraft, he noticed that they were so uncomfortable, both the pilots, all the workers, the staff, and all of the workers, and he was so jittery, like something is going to happen. So he kept feeling that, but kept praying, because he's really a strong man, a very strong man of God. So he now came down and started sharing this incident, with us. This is what happened. Even when the pilot came, it was like they would call the pilots. He was so afraid, like, are they going to crash? He said he was having the feeling, but he kept praying to God. So people that saw him in the aircraft, said, oh, we are so happy, man of God, Evangelist Dr. Gospel Agochukwu, we're so happy to have you here, because for as long as you're here, nothing is going to happen to us. So when he came down, he started sharing what really happened, that he was sensing that something was bad. Now, This morning we had this news. It's still the same aircraft. I remember that in 2018 we had of a wing of the aircraft that just crashed on the fence, and it was really a disaster that period. Nobody wants to witness aircraft again. Now, what do you think is really happening? Do you think this is Dana we are talking about? They've had this name that as if they are really on negligence, as if they are not really, they are not together with what they are doing. So, do you think there's something should be done? What do you think should be done for them to really put themselves together, because I don't think I would really want to patronize them, because of this incident. Not just because of this, because of the antecedent of what happened,
Exactly.
Yeah, so following it, you'll be so, like now, if you want to board an aircraft, do you want to board Dana now? Would you want to board Dana because of this incident that happened? Hearing this thing this morning, he's going to, get a lot of people, give a lot of people tension not to, board the aircraft. So I just want to start from you, Papa Mia. What do you think about, what's your reaction to this Dana? Although no casualty was recorded, but it's a crash. It's a crash.
I think air flight is not a minor business per se. It's a huge business. And since it's a huge business, it requires a lot of financing. And looking at the trend of activities in the aviation sector, I think the government of President Mohamed Buhari is a little bit different from what we had during the period of President Olusegun Obasanjo. At that time when Peter Odele was governor of this River State. I think that period a lot of air disasters happened. And I think investigations at that time revealed that most of the aircrafts that we have in Nigeria have expired.
Okay, most of the aircraft we have in Nigeria.
Yes, at that time has expired.
Okay.
Their existing tenure has expired. The existing period of the time when they made it and the expiration time has gone out of the system. But what we are saying here is that the aviation sector carrying people from one state to the other and from one country to the other appears to be a very sensitive business in the sense that it is carrying personalities from one position to the other. And therefore, it is not a toy business per se. And the regulators, the NCAA, should properly give adequate conditions on how this airline should operate. Because most of them, I don't know whether they are taking bribe or from them or whatever, that they cannot sanction them at time like at a moment like this. For an aircraft company to come out to the general public and apologizing to them, it's not enough. It's not enough. For what has happened, I think the NCAA and the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, should take a bold step to investigate what has happened.
And especially in this this Dana
exactly.
other
aircrafts.
Because if you are boarding without checking everything, how the condition of the aircraft, engine parts, everything.
Yes, and what we're saying is that they should be investigated.
Okay.
For this incident, they should investigate the incident
like the one that happened
and find out the problem that is wrong with the aircraft. And then from there they can develop what sanction or what condition to give to the
one that happened in 2018.
Yes.
They were blaming the pilots.
Of course.
They said the pilot has to be blamed. But the question, what did they do to the pilots?
Yes.
What really happened?
That's what
after,
we're saying. That
you know?
because no sanction was placed either on the owners of the aircraft or on the pilot.
Or could it be that it really
Without
it has been
investigation,
done, and we journalists were not opportune to get to we are not opportune to get it started.
I don't think that is possible, because anything that concerns the aviation sector, with the little I know, they have been exposing the issues to the public. But what we are saying at this time is that let government take prominent control of the regulation of this aircraft, because we don't know if the day that a very serious event in this country will be taking place, and this aircraft will be moving people from place to place, we don't know the potential danger that is ahead of us. So this is a time that government will sit together and ensure that they take issues step by step. Today is Dana Air, tomorrow it can be any other airline. But what we're saying is that they should investigate this incident. From this incident, they can be able to ferment issues that will bring about these accidents that are happening, even though they are minor. But to me, they are very serious, because it is serious one. When it will happen, it will not ring any bell.
Life is involved.
For lives are involved.
Now,
personalities, moving personalities.
You're talking about them investigating on this matter.
Yes.
So that anywhere whosoever that is found, guilty
culpable,
or whatever,
culpable, yes.
culpable anyway, the person should be
sanctioned
or sanctioned.
Yes.
Now, I want to come to you, Susan Abbey. I don't know, you've been listening to the stories of what's going on. We're talking about the aviation sector, even aviation, because life is involved. And now, looking at the stories this morning, there was a crash. And like I told you, the story of how a Port Harcourt-based pastor here was talking about what he experienced in the same Dana Air, and that caught my attention of what happened this morning. So that, to me, it shows that, are they not really careful? That's the question in my mind. Are they not more careful compared to other aircraft, or what? Because it's same Dana Airline. Now, what the incident that happened, he said they should be investigated and know what really happened. So what's your reaction on this?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say incidents like this are not peculiar to just one airline.
Sure.
It can happen with this airline today,
it can happen
airline tomorrow. The problem here is how much checks are being carried out before an aircraft transports people from one destination to the other. What checks are carried out? Are we sure that, okay, this aircraft is durable enough to carry these people? Hundreds of lives are being entrusted with the pilots and the crew. You can't just, up and go. Checks need to be put in place for these things. You cannot be too sure, of course, but checks need to be put in place for these things.
So now that it has occurred, it has really happened. Yes, I quite agree with you. There should be checks, because without checks, that means they don't value human lives. Exactly. Now, you talked about checks before flying and then. And do you also agree that they should also be investigated on what really took place this morning, this crash?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Well, we actually...
The pilots, I think they need some psychiatric test.
Okay.
The pilots, they need serious...
Not just only to
not
Dana,
only Dana,
but all aircraft.
All aircrafts and all aircraft.
Okay, so now we are talking to the aviation.
Yes, they need to give psychiatric tests.
Attention to them.
To the pilots all the time.
All
to
right.
ensure that they are in a very decent mental state. Otherwise, pilots who are overwhelmed by these incidents, previous incidents, can be overtaken by psychological these incidents. So they need to properly check the pilots psychiatrically. So that
they need to check their mental state. All right, what we're actually talking about the aviation sector. they need to check before, there should be checks before they take off, and not just only to dinner, but they have to be very more careful because they are conveying human beings. It's human beings that are on the aircraft. And as a matter of fact, the incident that took place this morning requires a proper investigation. And if it means training the pilots and, keeping them abreast of what they should do, you have to do it as the Minister of Aviation. All right, now let's take up another story. A trigger-happy policeman, popularly known as Sahid Sars, allegedly shot a corps member identified as Iyanda Damilola to death in a Womosho local government area of Oyo State today, Tuesday. Media report gathered that Sahid is an operative of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Oyo State Police Command. Sahid is widely recognized by the students of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Obomosho, for assault, most especially Yahoo boys. In 2020, he was heavily criticized on social media platforms after he reportedly posed with a white Mercedes-Benz car he claimed to have bought. The deceased brother Yanda Oluwafemi, who graduated from Lasotech on Monday, said he sustained wounds from bullet shots by Sahid. Speaking with our correspondent Oluwafemi, a graduate of accounting and management sciences from the institution, said the deceased was his brother and that he had attended his convocation, after which they headed for an after party the same day where he was shot dead by the trigger-happy corps. Now, according to him, the late Damilola was serving in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. He said yesterday was our convocation and we were at a lounge, name withheld, for a convocation party around 2 a.m. when we heard that some people were fighting outside. When we discovered that the place was getting rowdy, we stepped out only to see policemen dispersing the crowd and shooting directly at the people. I sustained bullet wounds. But my brother, who came for my convocation, was shot in the head. He was confirmed dead at the Lasotech Teaching Hospital and was taken to the mortuary this morning. And he said, as I speak with you, I am at the clinic for my treatment. The wounds are deep and I cannot just seek justice for my innocent brother. Asked if he could recognize a policeman who came for the operation, Oluwafemi said he was sure of Sahid Sars because he led them to the place to disperse the crowd. I saw him handling the gun. He was shooting with one hand until he shot my brother, he added. When contacted, the State Police Public Relations Officer SP Adewale Oshifeso said an investigation was ongoing on the matter and that updates would be provided accordingly. Investigation is also ongoing. Updates will be provided accordingly. Please, he wrote in a text message. Now, you've seen what is happening in your state. It's a core member who attended Justice Brothers' convocation was just, shot dead. And the policemen were just shooting sporadically, shooting at the human beings. That means they are aiming at lives just to take away lives. What could really, prompt these policemen? We are talking about that the pilots in aviation sector, that they need training. They need to be, they have to check their mental state. And I think they should also go into the security system, the security sector, the police in particular. Because this is so queer for you to see. Anyway, we hear the stories, but they are not usual. They are really strange. This is not news. Where you go to where they are doing convocation and student gathering, and then you're shooting and aiming at people. So look at this incident now. Do you think that this should also, I'm coming to you, Pupami, what do you think should be done to this policeman? Because I think, if you're not balanced mentally, you can't handle the gun.
Sure.
If you're not mentally stable, you cannot handle the gun. Sure. I think there is a need for them to make a close scrutiny on their mental states. Anyone who is suffering from any psychosomatic problem the gun should be taken away from the individual, from the person, because our lives are also at stake. What's your take on that?
Yes, I think similar incidents has happened in River State before now.
Okay.
And the court ruling that we had concerning that incident
Yeah.
was that the police officer was charged with murder. All right? He was charged with murder, and then he was the court decided that he should die by hanging. The police officer should die by hanging. So I want to say that the police force has a commission, and the commission, part of the activities and the duties of the commission is training and retraining of officers. But I don't know if they're actually doing that. Or looking at the incidents that has happened, this is not the first one. I think last year it happened in different states, twice like this. A trigger, even I think last week too, a trigger policeman also killed somebody. And it has become a recurring decimal in the society. And such recurring decimal, is telling us that the police, by the constitutional mandate which they have, is that the police is to protect lives and property and not to kill. You understand me? They are to protect lives and property. If which is positive.
Okay.
And if they are on the negative, that instead of protecting lives and property, they will shoot and kill somebody and go free.
Now, what do you think? Okay, now let me come
Yes.
to you, Abe, Susan Abe. What do you think should be done to this policeman now? Because definitely he should be facing, he should be facing his actions right now. What do you think should be done to him? Do you think the police are going to just look at it like that and then he's going to get away with it, or?
No. I am of the opinion that if a police officer unlawfully discharges his firearm, he should be arrested, tried in courts, and sanctioned properly.
Fine.
Nobody is above the rule of law.
Yeah.
So he should be sanctioned properly. He cannot escape that, because you took the life of another person unlawfully. So yes, you should be sanctioned properly. The police officer, rather, should be sanctioned properly.
Okay. Yeah, he should be sanctioned. Definitely, he must face the music. But now, how about those people that came with him? Because the story says it's like he's a leader of the team. He's a leader of the team. No, what is it? Are they also culprits? Those people who came with him, because they say not just only one person, but Saeed said that he saw him and he recognized him, and he's like. Like say, yeah, he's notorious in this call because his target is always on the Yahoo boys, disturbing them, Now, would you think that those people that came with him, they should also be sanctioned?
Of course, they are a team. They should be sanctioned too.
Or they will face the same weight of the punishment.
Exactly.
Okay. Because definitely it's death, it's murder. It's a murder case.
Yeah, of course.
And the other one, the brother sustained injury as well.
If you look at it, they might be on illegal duty.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might be on illegal duty. So they should face the wrath of the law too.
All right. So
looking at the crowd, looking at the crowd, a police officer should be professional in his activity.
Okay.
Looking at a crowd where you have met people celebrating the graduation of their loved ones.
Yes.
You don't need to start shooting them. The worst thing that you can do as a police officer is to tear gas the.
Yeah,
if you see a very and then you monitor what's happening and
shooting
arrest
is
and arrest those that are disturbing the peace of the premises. If you have that evidence.
All right. Well, that's the much we can take on that story. We've really seen that if you're a policeman, you have to be very careful.
Yes.
If you discharge or just start shooting sporadically, and at the end you take away the life of a person, you will always face the full wrath of the law. You have committed murder, and you will not get away with it. So both the security agencies, the head, the IGP, you know, all the commandant, all of them, both the DSSS, they have to put hands together to train these people, because most of them, I think, is a issue of, like my colleague also said, that it could be those on illegal duties. What if you are on illegal duties and then you do, and you take away the life of another person, you die, you may die by hanging, or you face the music. Well, we want to embark on a very short break right now. When we come back, we continue from Governor Ihedioha resigns from PDP. That's a story we're going to take later.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
All right, we are glad to have you back on ATN, and this is Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. And before we go on to the other story I just mentioned about the ex-governor who just resigned from PDP, let's look at the stories coming from Kogi State. The embattled immediate past governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, said he was ready to appear before the Federal High Court in Abuja to answer to the 19-count charge the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) preferred against him. That's the Bello. You can see him. Though Bello was absent for his arraignment, he briefed a team of lawyers who addressed the court on his behalf on Tuesday. A member of his legal team, Mr. Adeola Adidikwe, a son, told the court that his client would have made himself available for the proceedings, but was afraid that he would be arrested. The defendant wants to come to court, but he is afraid that there is an order of arrest hanging on the heads, Adedikwe said. Son submitted. Consequently, he urged the court to set aside the ex parte order of arrest it earlier issued against the former governor, Adidekwe's son, contended that as at the time the order of arrest was made, the charge had not been served on his client as required by the law. He noted that it was only at the resumed proceedings on Tuesday that the court okayed substituted service of the charge on the defendant through his lawyer. As at the time the warrant was issued, the order for substituted service had not been made. That order was just made this morning. A warrant of arrest should not be hanging on his neck when we leave this court, counsel to the defendant added. We actually want to take the substance there, alleged fraud. I want to appear in court, but I am afraid of arrest, says Bello, Yahaya Bello. Of course, you know what really happened a few days ago.
Yes.
When the EFCC stormed his house to his residence to get him arrested because of the alleged 80 point something billion naira fraud, and then they said, come and answer, you have something to answer. EFCC was inviting him. Now, but the question is, he says, so afraid. Now, this morning, few days ago, he was to appear in court, but he sent his lawyers to represent him. He was absent for arraignments. Now, does it mean that there's a skeleton in the cupboard? Does it mean that he's guilty? Does it mean that he's culpable? That what they say because it was a whole lot. In fact, I don't know if you watched the whole story, the scenario.
Yeah.
A lot of people gathered there trying to prevent him. There was court order restraining him from being, as if he has immunity. So what could really, is he really above the law that nobody should question him? Or what is he running away? Just briefly, Papa Mia, what can you say about this Yaya, this Kogi state former governor?
I think from the incidences that are playing out,
yes,
we have come to understand that the EFCC just posted this evening that about $370,000 was taken by Yahya Bello to pay his child's school fees from the state coffers. That was the reason why they're inviting him. So we want to tell our politicians that it's not only you taking up an office. It's not only you taking up an office. You should take responsibility for every action that you are able to put in place when you are in office. And you shouldn't be afraid. Look at Mefele. He's still there, answering one question or the other because he was handling a sensitive position, a governor of the CBN. And you, the governor of a state, should be able to account for anything that is needed of you concerning your office.
No, he was a former governor.
Yes.
But we're actually trying to say that he should go and answer them.
That is the point we're talking about.
Why will he be afraid of answering?
He is not above the law, of course.
But that means that there is something there.
No. Of course, there are so many issues that are still hanging.
So many investigations that if they open the investigation or set up a committee, it's going to really
be very disastrous.
He will not contest again. I don't think he's going to contest again once they open his file.
It's serious.
Because I've never seen a thing like this happen.
Of course.
Do you know that the EFCC chairman, Lukoyade, he said that he will see to the end of this investigation, otherwise he's going to resign.
To tell you that's
to show you the seriousness of the matter.
And that means there's something.
Nobody has resisted arrest before like this. Have you ever seen?
No.
Did you watch it on TV? What happened? You read it, right? You saw it. What happened? Good. Nobody in the history of Nigeria, nothing like this has ever happened in Nigeria.
Never.
Where the EFCC will be inviting you. It's your duty to go and answer. Look at what happened in the... Let's
Obiano, former governor of... Is it Enugu State? Anambra State. Yes, he appeared.
Yeah, because...
And he has been given, I think, his medical... go for medical checkup
and
abroad.
Then come back.
And then
face his investigation.
Now,
it's just like what happened in Okwama community. That monarch that turned himself out. He's been released.
Yes.
He's been released because there were a lot of those boys that involved in the slaying of the soldiers, 17 soldiers.
Yes.
The monarch was declared wanted and he turned himself up to the DSSS.
And that's even more serious than this one.
And yes, it's very, very serious. No, but I think the both of them, because it happened, this is our economy. I think they are, will I say they are on the same? Yeah, they should be on the same. Because we are talking about Nigeria. We're talking about economy. But these are the soldiers. These are human lives as well, though, because it's blood. Now, but this man turned himself. There were accelerated hearing on his part, and then he was released. Now, because they felt that nothing is in my skeleton, in my cupboard. I'm off for scrutiny. Scrutinize me and check, investigate me, interrogate me, and then carry out whatever investigation you want to carry out, and then free me. Is it not the same thing that Yahaya Bello is supposed to do?
Of course.
So what are we talking about? Let me
Showing
see.
good example.
Do you think that he's afraid of arrest? I think it's a laughable matter.
It's a laughable matter.
It's a laughable matter. When the EFCC, even the Yahoo boys, we call them in local parlance, all these Yahoo boys, when the EFCC invite them, they also go and answer. So if they are found guilty, either that you pay fine or you go to jail.
Or you refund the money.
Or you refund the money, because the money should be somewhere.
This is serious business.
Standard procedure. I feel like if you're being accused of a crime, show up. Especially if you know you're not guilty. Of course, show up. You know.
Yeah. Once you're not guilty, you feel that you're not guilty. You have to show up, and then yes, let everybody know that my hands. But how will Yahaya Bello's hand be free? How will Yahaya Bello's hand be very clean? You know, because
equity,
looking at it,
equities, equity is waiting for him.
Equity is waiting for him.
He must go with clean hands.
So we want
if your hands are not clean,
we are here. We are trying to tell you that if you're running away, you cannot run away from the law. Those people who are shielding you, advising you not to go and answer the FCC, there's nothing there.
You will
just go.
Accountability.
Yeah, exactly. That is accountability, because the society and the economy demands that you have to account for whatever you have done on that seat. Well, let's look at another PDP. Former PDP governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, has resigned his membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This is actually the news that is coming up right now this afternoon. That's Emeka Ihedioha. In his resignation letter addressed to the PDP chairman in Boto Ward, Abombese local government area of the state, Ihedioha cited a misalignment between his personal beliefs and the current trajectory of the main opposition party. The former governor expresses dedication to the advancement of democracy and good governance in the country, despite his decision to step away from PDP. According to Ihedioha, having been a member of the party since its inception in 1998, he has contributed immensely to the growth and evolution of the party. He, however, lamented recent development within the PDP, stating that it has deviated from its core principles. He voiced concerns over the party's inability to enact internal reforms, uphold its own regulations, and effectively oppose the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Regrettably, he said in recent times the party has taken a path that at variance with his personal beliefs. So despite his attempt to offer counsel, the party is sadly no longer able to carry out internal reforms, enforce its own rules, or credible position to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Well, let's take it from there. We're actually talking about this man as he has resigned. And he said it's not really what they say, it's not what he's saying. And he has contributed immensely to the growth and the development of the PDP. But now he is out there. That it is because of what is happening. It's no longer aligning with his own belief at the system and how they started the party. That is why he resigned. Now the question is he resigning to go into the party that will now align with his own? Well, don't you think there's going to be a problem as he has resigned? You know Emeka Ihedioha. Emeka Ihedioha is from Imo State. He was a former governor. He was a staunch PDP. When PDP was created in 1998, he was a very strong member. And also, a matter of fact, when I saw this story today, I was shocked to my bone marrow that someone like Emeka Ihedioha will pull from the PDP. But that shows you that there's no politician can't be pinned just like that on a party. No. So what's your take on that? Because we just have a few minutes to go.
Yes, I think taking this bold decision is not good enough.
Oh.
It's not actually good enough because...
For the party?
For him.
Or for him?
For him.
Okay.
It's not good enough. Because you have sold so much into a party, all right, that has made you become a House of Reps member, to become also a governor of a state. I think you don't need to rush out of the party, but that if there are crises that are evolving from various sectors of the party, you still have the opportunity to call those that are in charge and also think of rebuilding the party. Because politics is all about choice and struggle for power. All right? And in such circumstances, it is expected that whatever thing that you are doing, you will have to think and watch. You have to think and watch the kind of politics that you are about, or the decision that you are taking, if it will not affect your future endeavors.
Okay.
Because running from pillar to post, I think, is not the best. It's all about you knowing what to do and knowing the right people to follow and taking the right decision to ensure that in subsequent political endeavors, you have opportunities. You have opportunities. Because yesterday it was PDP, today is APC. And we don't know whether tomorrow it will still go back to PDP. So you don't need to run helter-skelter. That is why I respect this man so much, Atiku Abubakar. Since he joined PDP, although he has been moving, he still stands his ground to ensure that the PDP he consolidates his ground to make a case for himself. So I want to advise that the decision he has taken to resign from the party is not the best, except he's leaving politics entirely.
Okay.
If he's leaving politics entirely, then it's best. Then he should go into business. But if he's saying that he's dumping PDP, he's dumping PDP for any other party,
now,
it's not the best.
Now,
it's not
he
the best
resigns.
at all. It's not the best.
Now, if he's moving on to another party,
yes,
it is still the same value system that he's going to transfer to the system, to the party, is it not true?
Yes, yes.
So that means he's still going to be the PDP in him, but I don't know the party he's going to. Well, are we now discouraging defection? Is it trying to, discourage defection, that no one can defect from one party to another? I'm talking about, I just want to react to...
the defection we're talking about is that if you are defecting, it should not be that, it should not be a foundation, if I'm a foundation member of PDP,
all right,
I should not find myself running out of the party.
All right, just a
I should be there to ensure that what I built, with the foundation I laid, is up and roofed.
Okay, so I just want your a little contribution.
If a party member feels like the values of the party doesn't align with his own values, and by all means, I mean, move on to the next party.
You move on to the next party. Oh my God!
You'll be jumping
you'll be jumping from one party to the other instead of staying. Okay, I'm of the opinion that he could have stayed, called a meeting, and fix it together. If there's other bodies he needs to really seek and said, okay, we need to fix our party, our dear party. PDP remains a very strong. It is a very strong party.
But don't you think he might have tried to do that?
Because you're losing your followers.
Okay.
As you jump from party to party, you're losing your followers.
Because before it will take people a lot of time to repose confidence in you. Before they will say, okay, come and represent us. Well, that's much we can take. 9 o'clock, we shall be going into the newsroom for the global news at 9. As a matter of fact, I just want to commend all of you, my colleagues that appeared on the program. Susan Abe, you've been wonderful.
Thank you.
Papa May, you've been wonderful. I just want to thank you so very much. We're going to do it same time next week.
Yes.
All right. I am Angel, popularly called Angelic Angel. You can also stay connected on our ATN socials. You can join us on YouTube on Atlantic Television Network. And we want to tell you that the Press Roundtable remains, it's where we bring you news, best narration of news on trending issues, and we join you. Please join us on the news. We provide the right narrative in news narration on Press Roundtable. 9 o'clock is a time for the global news, and yours truly, I'm preparing now to go into the newsroom. Good evening and stay with us.